I'm Brittany Allyn, and welcome to Savor the Flavors. So you're having friends over and you'd like to cook for them, but you don't want to spend the whole time in the kitchen? No worries. Today I'll share a recipe that you can mix on ahead of time and then just pop in the oven when your guests arrive, and you'll spend the whole time enjoying them. This is always a crowd pleaser. I know you'll love my homemade lasagna. I've already started preparing the meat mixture for the lasagna. On the stove here, I'm sauteing 8 ounces of sliced white mushrooms. Earlier, I sauteed 1.5 pounds of Italian sausage. And I like the hot Italian sausage for this, but if you're a little sensitive to spice, you could of course just use regular mild, and this will still have plenty flavor. Now, when I drained the meat, I added 2 teaspoons of the fat back to my skillet, and that is what I'm sauteing these mushrooms in, because it just really gets the flavor of the meat into the mushrooms, and it really makes a big difference. While that's going on, we're going to work on our cheese mixture. Here I have 3 eggs. We're just going to whisk those together. These are large eggs. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And to that, we're going to add some whole milk ricotta cheese. I've got 32 ounces here. Okay, and then along with that, I've got a 1/2 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And one more thing, I've got 3 tablespoons of chopped fresh flat leaf parsley. Now we're just going to combine this until everything is evenly combined. Okay, I think that is looking perfect. Let's check our mushrooms. Oh yeah, look at that. They've gotten nice and tender. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now we're going to add back to our pan that sausage that we browned earlier. And in addition to that, here I have 3.5 cups of my homemade marinara. That's what makes this come together so quickly, because there's no slow cooking involved. I'm using my homemade marinara. It's already been slow cooked. We're just going to add that to our pan, 3.5 cups here. And the recipe for my homemade marinara is included in this lasagna recipe, and you can find that on my website at savortheflavors.tv. And what we're going to do now is just heat this through. Stir that together. And that is the meat mixture for our lasagna. How simple is that? We're just going to heat it through. I've got some water going here. I'm going to prepare some lasagna noodles, and when all of that's ready, we're going to assemble the lasagna. Now comes the fun part. It's time to assemble the lasagna. I already started. We've got 1.25 cups of the meat mixture on the bottom of a 9 by 13 inch baking dish, and we're going to add some of our noodles. We want just 3 of them on this layer. Here's a quick tip. When you're cooking your noodles, right before you take them out of the water, put a little olive oil in the water, and then what that does is, as you're pulling the noodles out of the water, the oil sort of coats them, and so they won't stick together. Works great. Or you can just take and spray them with some non-stick cooking spray as well. Now we're going to take our cheese mixture. We want 1/2 of that, and just kind of eyeball it. We don't have to be exact here. It's a rustic dish. Okay. And we're just going to spread that around evenly over the top of our noodles. Okay, that's looking pretty good there. And here I have a 6 cheese Italian blend. You can find this in the grocery store. It takes 2 cups. We're just going to put 1/2 of it on here at this point. All kinds of great cheeses in this. There's Romano, Asiago, mozzarella, and more. You're going to love it. Okay, then on top of that, we're going to put another layer of noodles, 3 more. And we're going to add 2 cups of our meat mixture. And then on top of that, the rest of our cheese mixture. And now, the last cup of that 6-cheese Italian blend. Okay, and then we need one more layer of noodles, our last and final layer. And then we'll top it with the rest of the meat sauce. Okay, then the last and final touch, we need one more cheese. Here I have some fresh mozzarella slices, and we're just going to arrange them on our lasagna. Earlier I took a fresh ball of mozzarella, 8 ounces, and I just cut it in half, and then cut it in half again, and those halves in half, and that's how you get even slices like this. And we're just going to put them on the top, and they just get so nice and gooey and cheesy when this is baked. Now, I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees. I'm going to cover this with foil and bake it for 50 minutes. Remove the foil and then bake it for another 15 to 20 minutes, just until this cheese starts to bubble and get nice and brown. The lasagna has been resting for about 15 minutes, and you want to do that because it helps it to slice nicely. But don't worry, it's still plenty hot. Now, the first piece is usually kind of a mix-up, so I usually reserve that for myself, but we'll see how we do today. We're just going to take a nice spatula with a sharp edge and cut a piece out here. Oh, get it in the dish. There we go. Oh wow, look at that. It is steamy and cheesy and gooey. And then I always like to top it with a little bit more of that marinara. Just kind of run that over the top like that. Maybe a touch more. Oh yeah, so good. And some fresh basil on there. And you've got quite a meal. The next time you have friends over and you want to spend the evening with them instead of in the kitchen, I'd love for you to savor the flavors of my homemade lasagna.